I am a dentist, and I've been in the dental profession for over 10 years, and you guys tag me in the weirdest and wildest videos every single week for me to explain, fact check, everything else in between. So let's watch these videos together and see what a real dentist has to say about it. All right, seeing if my knuckle actually fits my side profile. Whoa. Wait a second, what? So this is an actual trend going on where apparently people can see if they have the perfect profile, their side thing matches that. And actually, if you pause it on hers, that fits almost perfectly exactly with her face. And actually, the fun fact is, a lot of people don't realize this. In orthodontists, you think that a lot of us just think about your teeth, taking it from nasty crooked to perfectly straight. But actually, we look at your profile too. And there's one thing that we look at particularly that's pretty close to this, and it's actually called your E-line. Now, what the E-line is it's a line between your nose, your lips, and your chin. And you want everything to rest directly on that line to have what we call a perfect profile. If your lips are too far behind that, you have kind of more the Wicked Witch of the West look. And if they're in front of that, you kind of have this more concave shaped face. So it's this middle knuckle here that should be going underneath there. I don't think mine. Maybe I got too big a nose or something, I don't know. So maybe my profile's not as perfect as what everybody else says. But no, we wouldn't test it with your fist in a ball, although maybe weirdly enough this works in her case. But that being said, we would more aptly look at the face and those things like the E-line. Now another angle we look at is called the FMA. And this is actually called your Frankfurt mandibular plane. I know it's really weird. It's been a long time since I've had to do all these angles. But basically what this one does is tell you if you have a short face, which is kind of more those stocky, square, kind of face, kind of like I've got, or you can have a really high FMA, which are the people with really long faces and really skinny faces. So yes, we do look at angles, and yes, we do look at side profile, but let's see what the people in the comments had to say. Someone said, it's like our fists are made for punching ourselves, which is actually kind of funny because yeah, it does kind of fit right in there, doesn't it? Let's not go around hitting people, okay? Oh my gosh, so there's someone said, unfortunately I have brachydaggly and my last two knuckles didn't show up to the party. Luckily, more than likely her facial profile does not probably match that. So someone says, how are you able to bend your wrist that far? I was literally thinking that same thing. I was like, how do you even get to a point that you can do that? Maybe she's doing it upside down. I'm confused. Can you do this? Either way, all I can say is a lot of us have our fists to our faces right now. Let's hope that your profile's good. All right, y'all tag me in this next one. Said, Bentist, I bet you clean your teeth good, but you don't clean near as good as this dentist does. So I wanted to take a look at it and see exactly how good this dentist is cleaning their teeth. So let's check it out. Cleaning my teeth at work. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, so first off, she's got the dental dam going in there. And then she's got basically what she's putting on there is disclosing liquid. What that disclosing liquid does is it actually attaches to the plaque that's in your mouth so you can actually see it. And so actually when you're smiling there, I'm gonna pause it real quick. You can't really see much on her teeth. Now, some things that I do notice, she's got a little bone loss and some gum loss back here. And then we do see some blue around the edges periodontal, which tells me that she probably does a good job brushing, maybe even a little too good of a job brushing because she's starting to get rid of some bone resorption there, but she's not doing the greatest job flossing. And even then, it could just be because she's got all that crowding and stuff there, so it makes it tougher to floss on there. But, normally when I see root loss or bone loss back here in the back, that's from our high achievers, which actually, fun fact, are a lot of dentists. And we basically try and scrub extra good to get everything off, and we end up rubbing away the gum tissue and harming it either way. But let's keep going. Okay, going over everything, and now she's getting her power brush there. Fun fact, you're actually not supposed to move electric toothbrushes that are these round type. You're supposed to let it do the work for you. Now, me personally, I like the sonic ones that allow you to brush along with the sonic, just because once again, I'm an overachiever. But technically, if you're using an electric toothbrush like this, it should be doing all the work for you. All right, and there you go. She's got it clean, and then she's finishing up with a little interdental pick. Not the biggest fan of those personally. I think I would rather you just floss with the C-shaped flossing. It's a lot safer on your gum tissue. And although you can get these interdental things that are small enough for you to jab through there, a lot of the times people will end up damaging their gum tissue and stabbing it and hurting it and then causing the gum to recede anyways. I would just use our floss picks. We actually built them in with a little bit of looseness so that you can do the C-shape back and forth. And it also has a tongue scraper built in, so you don't even need to carry a big long tongue scraper like that. But either way, this was an amazing way to, obviously that's really aggressively hardcore on your cleaning, but it's gonna work really, really well. The only thing I wish she would have added was actually flossing instead of just jumping through with the periodontal pick there. But either way, it looks like she did a great job. Let's see what they said in the comments. Someone said, did you charge yourself? That's funny, we get that a lot. Someone said, I wonder if she just could have used that purple shampoo stuff. No, first off, that purple shampoo stuff does not work. The teeth whitening stuff doesn't work. And that purple stuff is not purple shampoo. It's a staining liquid that's purposely meant to attach to the organic plaque on your teeth. So completely different. They actually come in red and a multitude of different colors too. It just so happens that hers was purple. Someone said, what is this and how come the dentist doesn't provide it for us? Well, it's actually all things that, you have a toothbrush at home, you have floss picks, you have tongue scraper, you can get all those things at home. And you can, in fact, even get little disclosing tablets. You can just go on Amazon and look up disclosing tablets and you just chew one of those up and it does the same thing. And I think they even make toothpaste now with like disclosing liquid inside of it. I don't know how safe that is, but it is what it is. Either way, if you're brushing like that, I would be very happy, just to say the least. Now, you guys tagged me in this life hack, said I had to watch it. So let's see if this life hack is anything up to snuff, because you guys tag me in the weirdest life hacks sometimes, I swear. Instead of throwing your toothbrush away every day after using it, do this instead. Okay. Is that like saving the turtles or something? What in the Heliante cursed stuff is that? Oh, see, this is why I don't trust you guys. This is why I don't answer half the videos you guys tag me in, because it's weird stuff like this. There is actually something serious to talk about here, and that is plastic waste. Because that's right, the plastic that you get from your toothbrushes, your toothpaste tubes, and things like that is actually the #1 plastic waste inside of a home, is all right in the middle of your bathroom. Because instead of throwing it in a recycling bin or something like that, you just throw it right in the trash right there underneath you. Now, fun fact, just like we do a bunch of innovations on the product side and something nice, we actually took this pretty seriously. So if you guys didn't know, actually our toothpaste, our Zero toothpaste, is actually fully recyclable. This is actually one of only like 2 or 3 toothpaste products in the world that are fully recyclable. That means the box, the cap, the tube, everything can be recyclable, where almost all of our competitors are not. So not only do you get an amazing product, you actually get it fully recyclable, which is kind of cool. So maybe instead of throwing away your toothbrush and putting hair on it and then sticking it in your mouth and that being all weird and gross, maybe just throw it in the recycling bin, or make sure that you find a sustainable brand like ourselves to make sure that this stuff you do have is fully recyclable. Let's see what y'all weirdos said in the comments on this one. Stay in school, this could be you. You know what? I am definitely happy that we're starting to make fun of these people for once. We gotta bully some people back into being normal sometimes. Someone said, our brains are shrinking. My brain was shrinking after watching that. It really did. But hopefully I expanded it by explaining to you something at least knowledgeable out of it. And now you know that the #1 waste of plasticware in your entire home is in your bathroom, and you probably didn't know that ahead of time. So, well, at least we learned something today. In this next one, somebody's getting braces, and it's not who you think it is. All right, how braces are placed. Wait, what is that? Is that a fuggler? Oh my gosh, those are wild. Okay, so it's happening so quickly. Placing the brackets, adjusting the positions. I'm trying to see if they're doing this right or not. Okay, wires in. Boom. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go by this piece by piece. Excess wire, clip it, and then he's good to go. Okay, now let's go back in the beginning and actually see what we got here. Okay, so first thing that they did was, okay, first off, good thing, we put the thing around them. I like that. And then we are polishing the teeth. That's really important. You want to make sure that you clean the teeth before you put the braces on, because if you leave plaque and gunk there, you could get a cavity underneath. That would be bad. And also the brackets don't stick as good. So they polish the teeth. That's good. Now we're applying the adhesive and air drying it. I like that. Okay, we're putting on the brackets, placing them in the right. Now, pause it there. That blue light that you saw that comes in is actually what hardens the glue. A lot of people don't understand that, but you have the adhesive layer, or like you have kind of like this clear adhesive, and then you put the regular braces glue on top of that, and that's what basically attaches it to your tooth. And then the glue, the light, is what actually hardens it. Now we're getting the wires in. Now they're using the old school brackets, which is why they have to use those little O ties. I would much rather you go find somebody who uses self-ligating brackets. I think they're way better. These are just cheaper and more old school. It's like what we used to do in the 70s. There's new technology now, just find that. And then once they get everything in there, they're gonna clip off the excess wire. And there you go. Little Fuggler is on his way to get his braces. Look at him go. His journey starts. Let's see what the people in the comments have to say. Oh, so you telling me the Fuggler gets them for free and my mom gotta pay like $8 grand? Hey, you know what? Sometimes it pays to be a special person. I guarantee you if a Fuggler walked into my office and it started talking to me, I would give it free braces because I would be scared for my life, because inanimate objects don't normally speak. Also, but for real though, a lot of you guys don't understand the cost of the brackets and the material, especially the cheaper old school ones like they had. You know, that's pretty cheap. It's not too bad in that, and they're probably like $200 or $300 worth of stuff. But the real cost is the fact that you have to come in all the doctor time and do that for a year and a half, 2 years. It costs a lot of money to do that. Someone said, is this because why I'm on a 3-year waiting list? What are you at that it's a 3-year waiting list to get in your orthodontist? Find somebody else new. Come see me. Our Windcrest Orthodontics. We get in Plano, Texas. If you want to have your braces done by our company, I trust you. You're going to love it. Either way, if a fuggler can go through it, so can you. Now, everybody out there that you know probably has a secret talent. But what if I told you that there is some secret talents you could do with your mouth that, well, better just left to be unsaid and just show you. All right, 3% of people can gleek, 1%. What the heck? Oh, my boy's the Gleek Master 5000 over here. Look at that go. Dude, that's actually wild that he can hold that much. He has to have something in his mouth that's like squirting that out. That is crazy. Fun fact, I can gleek. If you guys don't know what's going on here, this man is doing what we call gleeking. And that's basically where you have all this built up saliva in your mouth. You know, if you like eat something sour and your mouth pulls up with saliva, well, you can basically put your tongue to the roof of your mouth and then you can push down like that. And you can actually cause these little salivary ducts to shoot the stuff out. I don't know if you can see it, but I can do it too. Look underneath to get a little, see that come out? I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm doing it. But to do it that long and that much saliva, that's actually insane. And if somebody gleeks on you, yeah, it is kind of weird because they're basically spitting on you in a fun way. Let's see what the comments had to say. I'm sure it's nothing but happy and healthy stuff in there. Impressive. I don't think we'd get along. I gleek randomly and I don't know how to do it on command. Well, I'll tell you how to do it. Basically, I told you earlier, you have to stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and then you have to kind of fold your tongue like that way, and then just push down. And it really helps if you kind of use your tongue to kind of like get the saliva glands activated there, or put something really sour in your mouth. Yeah. You kind of push down and jut your lower jaw forward, and that's how you get it to happen. How do you have so much ammo? That was exactly what I was like, bro, what do you got, a whole water bottle worth of saliva up in there? That guy's teeth must be so healthy. Because if you don't know, saliva washes your teeth, and if you have more saliva, your teeth are normally healthier. In fact, that's the reason why a lot of people get cavities, because genetically, their family and friends, or their family genetics don't give them that much saliva, so they have a drier mouth, so they get cavities easier. Fun fact. Either way, if you do learn how to gleek, it is fun, but just don't shoot it at other people. Maybe just stick to putting out candles at your house. Okay, we got a video that was viewed over 5 million times, and apparently you guys saved it over 25,000 times about these tips on dentistry. So we're gonna go through and see if they're actually true or not. Check it out. No? Yep, what are we getting into? Okay, yep, I see what we're doing here. Okay. All right. Interesting. I see exactly what they're talking about now. Okay, now we're gonna go through these and see exactly what they all were. So the first one that he talked about, he pauses it on no when it has a big glob of toothpaste. And then obviously yes is when it has a small. So what they say is you need a pea-sized amount of toothpaste. And that's actually due to fluoride. And so because we've had fluoride in our toothpaste for so long, we need to regulate the amount of that chemical that's in your body. And so we've always said kind of use a pea size, you know, if you want to for an adult, and even use like a smear if it's for a baby, because we don't want to overuse too much fluoride. Now nowadays we have a lot better options. Nice plug for our product by something nice. Our Zero is a 10% nanohydroxyapatite, so it doesn't use fluoride like this. And because of this, you can use as much as you want. If you want to use more or less, it's totally fine for you. Some people want to still save and they use a pea size. Me personally, I like a little more product on my mouth to kind of feel like I'm getting a little more clean. And so with a 10% nanohydroxyapatite like our Zero toothpaste by something nice, it's completely safe. But no, not a bad idea, but still, it's only really mainly for fluoride. So the no on the brushing, and then yes. So what they're doing there is showing you the Bass method. And so, you know, on the front, you do want to stick it up at a 45-degree angle, go in a circle, and flick down instead of just going side to side, because the side to side doesn't get everything, and it also can damage your gum tissue if you're really scraping it. If you're going at an angle and doing this and then swiping down, you're going to have a lot less gum damage to your gums because you're not just raking back and forth across them. Now on the top, I don't care. You can go front, back, or you can do the little circles like they're doing. And then you'll see on the inside here, it's the same thing. No back and forth. It's more of a flicking up motion. I like personally an angle down at a 45 circle and then a flick up. The goal is just to flick away from the gum line. So not terribly bad ideas, but you know, nothing like really life-changing. If you really want to learn how to brush your teeth, look up the Bass method and really watch that all the way through. It'll really explain to you the proper way to brush your teeth. And in fact, I didn't even know that there was a proper way to brush my teeth until I was in dental school. It's crazy. Someone said, well, now why the heck would I use barely anything on my teeth, bro? And like I said, it's more of a fluoride issue than anything, just trying to regulate the amount of fluoride you're getting in your body. If you're using a toothpaste like ours, you don't need to worry about it. Use as much toothpaste as you want. And in fact, our toothpaste is completely safe for kids, infants, everything else in between. There's no issues at all. I'm gonna keep brushing my teeth the way I want to, thanks. The problem with that is, like I said, if you're just one of those that just going like this back and forth, you're probably not getting everything, and two, you're probably damaging your gum tissue. So maybe you do want to brush like this. What about electric toothbrushes? Great question. If you have the circular ones that rotate like this, you just want to hold them on there and then kind of move them to each tooth. If you have the sonic vibrating ones, which are personally the ones that I kind of like, you're going to still use the Bass method while it vibrates. I kind of like the fact that I have control over getting everything and still having the power of the electric brush. The circle ones, I just don't trust as much to do all the work. Either way, just brush your teeth. Rubber bands and braces, the best little duo you'll ever see. Now this girl has some really interesting stuff to say about rubber bands that I think is important for you to hear. Let's check it out.
If you like wearing your rubber bands when they tell you to wear your rubber bands and you have braces, if you don't start wearing them, they will literally screw on a freaking spring. And imagine how uncomfortable that shit is. Not being allowed to take it off or anything like that. You know how annoying that is? Just put on your fucking rubber bands. It's not that hard.
It's true, it is really important, but why do we need to wear the rubber bands? Well, to move your teeth over time, we can do things in different ways, but we need force over time and light force over time. Now, the braces and the wires are great at getting rid of crowding, unraveling, moving things, straightening things up. Unfortunately, when it requires up and down or forward to back growth, either jaw growth or things like that, we need your help with rubber bands. And if you wear them all the time, we have light continuous forces over time that cause those teeth to grow downwards or your jaws to grow forward and backwards. A lot of really cool things. But you know what? If you don't wear them, nothing's gonna happen. And unfortunately, I'm not the type of guy that want to leave you with all this crappiness at the end of your treatment. So if you don't do your job, we gotta do your job for you and put in these things called springs. And she is very, very right. They are a lot more annoying. They're fixed in there. You can't take them out. They're always in the way when you're biting and eating and stuff like that. And it's just really, really important for you guys to know that you don't need them if you just wear the regular rubber bands. And in fact, I just put 2 springs on my patients last week because they finally, after 2 years of getting them to try and wear the rubber bands, they did not do it. And we like getting people out in a year and a half. So they were way overdue. So I said, sorry, we're gonna take it into our own hands. We gotta slap on the springs. And now, guess what? They're in springs. So wear your rubber bands, do your job. The orthodontist will do yours, and you'll get out of braces with a perfect Hollywood smile, lickety split eye promise. Let's see what the comments had to say. Someone said, I loved wearing my bands. I miss my braces so much. And that was so weird because I hated my braces at first. And then by the end, I was crying to not get them off because I liked them so much. Why? Why is it? I don't know. Someone said, I didn't get the option. I went straight to springs. Now I'm just gonna say that's either an orthodontist that has had a lot of rugged past there with dealing with patients that are non-compliant, or maybe he could just tell you we're a troublemaker at day one. You just gotta let me know. Someone literally said, I did wear them, they didn't work, so I still got the spring, and they're not that bad, I'm not gonna lie. And that's, to be fair, they're not terrible, right? They're not the end of the world. That being said, just wear rubber bands. It's way easier on you, way easier on the orthodontist, way easier on your treatment. If you do get the springs though, it's not the end of the world, and hey, look forward to it. You're gonna have a perfect smile at the end of all of it, so it's just gonna do what it's supposed to do. And this final one, you guys posted me and said, it shocked you. You said all your favorite rappers look completely different to you now after you've seen this video. So let's go ahead and check it out because it is pretty gnarly. She said she fell in love with my smile. Now, dude's got the nice gold grills and everything like this. And then the second frame is, I guess it was just the grills. Oh my gosh, I see exactly what you guys are talking about. And I've talked about this all the time with you guys. And fun fact, why the heck this dude got a gum tooth? He got a gum tooth sticking in there. What is that papilla fistula thingy-mabopper up in there? And this is actually something I really love talking to you guys about because I don't think people understand what goes on underneath all those famous rapper grills. If these were done by a professional dentist with the grill, they would have to actually shave down some of the teeth to get those grills to fit in there, and then they would have to do their occlusion and their bite to make sure that they hit correctly. Now, looking at his bite, it does not look like he has a good bite. It looks like he's just hitting there on the front of his teeth. And there's nothing really good there that I'm seeing, but when you get it off and you can see the ramifications of what he has, his bite is really weird. He's got chipped up teeth all the way here, shaved down. His lower teeth look gnarly, crowded, really hard to clean, which is going to cause like gum disease, periodontal disease, cavities, root canals. And obviously the big thing that we all see, there's a little flappy man. What the heck is going on with that Bentist? Well, basically he made a fake tooth there. We call it a cantilever bridge. It's where you basically have a tooth that's just kind of floating where that missing tooth is. is. Now, unfortunately, your gums like to grow. They grow like weeds, actually. So if you don't brush and clean your teeth, your gums will actually overgrow in some cases. We see this a lot in braces. And so what happened was the gum actually grew up inside of the tooth and formed its own little gum polyp up inside of that fake tooth, which is the first time I've ever seen that. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen that before. Either way, this does not look good. It doesn't even look like I think it was done by a dental professional. You know, the dude's hands in his mouth right now, he's got no gloves on, he's got tattoos on his fingers and stuff. He only has like gloves on his fingers. So that's like telling me that there's probably some issues going on here. And then like this tooth looks like it's rotting out, which is the one on the right. So overall, just not a lot of good stuff. Let's see what the people in the comments have to say. Someone said, I didn't know you could get hemorrhoids in your mouth. Wow, I've never thought about it that way. That's a definitely way to look at it. May I ask, what is the pink thing? That dangly thing is supposed to be in the back, not the front of the mouth. He says it's referring to excess gum from prior tooth trauma. That's not from prior tooth trauma. That's probably just literally from growing inside the actual grill there. You know, you really are supposed to make it to be up against the tooth. It's probably hollow is my guess, and it's growing in there, versus it needs to be removed, and then the grill that is there needs to press up against the gum tissue to cause it to grow in a certain way. So more than likely it was just wrongly put in is my guess. I know whoever kissed him with the grills is mad AF after seeing this now. Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see your famous rappers and you're like, dang, look at them with the diamond grills. It's crazy. But you don't realize they're running around with that nastiness up underneath there this entire time. Kind of makes you look at them differently this whole time, doesn't it? Either way, if you get your grills or you don't get your grills, definitely I would recommend getting the removable ones so you can still clean your teeth underneath. And if your teeth look like that, you should not be getting grills. You should be getting dental work to fix what you've got going on. If you see a video here or here, that's because the YouTube algorithm thinks you'll like it. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe and check out somethingnicecompany.com. There's a link right there for you for the best oral care items in the world. I know because I'm the one that made them. We have a lot of really cool products out right now and a bunch of new ones coming out in the future, and I guarantee you're gonna love them. I'm the Bentist, the internet's dentist, and I'll see you next week. Peace!